Have you ever wondered why your legs have started to feel weaker, even though you maintain a healthy diet, stay physically active, and lead a wholesome lifestyle? Why does climbing the stairs feel more exhausting? And why does standing up from a chair take a little more effort than it used to? Is it simply age? Or could something else quietly be undermining your strength? Here's the paradox. The issue might not lie in what you are failing to do. It could actually be something you are already doing every single day that is subtly working against you. Many older adults unknowingly make the same invisible mistake, believing with full confidence that they are doing the right thing. Since childhood, we have been told that fruits are always healthy, natural, and should be eaten daily. And yes, most fruits are indeed beneficial. But here's what almost no one mentions. Not every fruit is equally good for the body after the age of 60. Some of them, the very ones we routinely put into our shopping carts without thinking, can quietly compromise the health of our legs. They can trigger joint inflammation, worsen swelling, increase knee pain, and reduce mobility. The same fruits that are promoted as healthy food can actually weaken balance, flexibility, and strength in the lower body. Why does this happen? Because our physiology changes with age. Metabolism slows down, blood circulation becomes less efficient, and blood vessels lose their elasticity. Foods that once gave us energy may now cause spikes in blood sugar, trigger inflammation, and lead to muscle weakness. This is especially true for fruits that are high in acids, fast-digesting carbohydrates, and fructose. And here is where the danger lies. These effects do not appear all at once. There is no sudden pain or sharp weakness. It often starts with a slight heaviness in the legs, tension in the knees, or a dull ache in the hip after a regular walk. Only after several months do we realize that walking has become more difficult and our joints have become less flexible. In this video, you will learn about 7 fruits that people over the age of 60 should avoid if they want to protect their legs from pain, swelling, and weakness. Despite how harmless they may appear, none of these fruits are safe for a body experiencing age-related changes. Once you learn the truth, you will never look at a fruit platter the same way again. So stay with me until the end if you want to maintain a light step, steady balance, strength, and freedom of movement. Your body may be waiting for this exact awakening right now. This video is going to be incredibly informative and helpful. If you want to take control of your health like a pro, give it a like, and let's get started. Fruit number 1, pineapple, a hidden enemy for legs after the age of 60. Pineapple has long been considered beneficial due to the presence of bromelain, a powerful natural compound known for its anti-inflammatory properties. It is often recommended for chronic pain, swelling, and even digestive issues. However, few people realize that for an aging body, especially after the age of 60, pineapple may not be an ally, but rather a slow force that diminishes strength in the legs. Why does this happen? First, pineapple contains a significant amount of simple sugars and fruit acids. According to a study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition in the year 2021, older adults are more sensitive to glucose spikes due to decreased insulin sensitivity and slower capillary circulation. After eating pineapple, blood sugar levels can rise sharply, which may damage small blood vessels, particularly in the legs. This impairs oxygen delivery to muscles, which can lead to fatigue, numbness, and even cramps after walking. This effect is especially dangerous for individuals with type 2 diabetes or prediabetes, both of which are increasingly common after the age of 60. Second, the acids found in pineapple can irritate joint tissues. A study from the Journal of Inflammation Research in the year 2022 revealed that fruit acids can intensify inflammation in patients with osteoarthritis, especially in the hip and knee joints. For individuals who already suffer from arthritis, eating pineapple may not relieve discomfort, but instead increase swelling and stiffness in the legs. There is also another concern. Bromelain, the very enzyme that makes pineapple so highly regarded, can interact with certain medications. Specifically, it enhances the effect of anticoagulants, drugs that thin the blood, such as warfarin. This interaction can lead to bruising, internal bleeding, and overall instability in the body. A study conducted by Tufts University in the year 2020 confirmed that combining bromelain with anticoagulants requires extreme caution in older adults. The most deceptive part of it all is that the harm caused by pineapple is not immediately felt. There is no sudden pain or acute discomfort, only a gradual decline. Today, you may simply feel a slight heaviness in your legs, Tomorrow, you may notice aching in your calf muscles after a short walk, and a month later, your legs might feel weak or unsteady. You might assume it is just a natural part of aging, but in reality, it could be the result of regularly eating certain foods, including pineapple. What can you do? You do not have to eliminate pineapple completely if you enjoy it. However, if you are experiencing ongoing pain, swelling, or weakness in your legs, consider limiting your intake and observing how your body responds. This might be the key to easing your symptoms. Aging is not an illness, but certain foods can accelerate its effects. Pineapple is one of those deceptively harmful fruits. Fruit number 2, banana, a sweet deceiver for aging legs. Bananas have long been considered a symbol of healthy eating. They are rich in potassium, provide quick energy, and are often believed to help prevent muscle cramps. But if you are over the age of 60, bananas may affect your body quite differently. Yes, potassium is essential for the cardiovascular and muscular systems. However, bananas also contain a significant amount of easily digestible carbohydrates and natural sugars, including glucose, fructose, and sucrose. According to a study published in Mayo Clinic Proceedings in the year 2022, insulin resistance is commonly observed in older adults. A sharp rise in blood sugar after eating a banana can cause inflammation in the small blood vessels of the legs. The result? Weakened blood flow to the muscles and joints, especially in the lower limbs, which leads to dull pain during walking, stiffness in the calves, and swelling in the legs. But the problems do not end there. According to a publication in the Journal of Geriatric Cardiology in the year 2021, bananas can contribute to fluid retention, particularly in people with heart failure. This leads to swelling in the shins and ankles, a feeling of heaviness in the legs, and even joint pain. The irony is that bananas are often consumed to support muscle function, yet for older individuals, they may have the opposite effect. Due to their sugar content and their tendency to promote water retention, bananas can gradually undermine muscle endurance. There is another important point. The effects are not immediate. At first, there may be slight discomfort. Then comes a persistent heaviness. Eventually, there may be morning stiffness or swelling after sitting. These changes build up quietly over time. So if you eat bananas regularly and notice that your legs are getting tired more quickly, pay attention to this combination of sweetness and aging. Fruit number 3, grapes, a small fruit with a big inflammatory potential. At first glance, grapes seem harmless. They are small, juicy, and convenient as a snack. They are even advertised as heart healthy due to their antioxidant content. But if you are over the age of 60, grapes may become a source of inflammation and leg pain. Why is that? Grapes are among the fruits with the highest fructose content. Unlike glucose, fructose is processed entirely by the liver. When consumed in excess, especially in older adults with a slower metabolism, fructose is converted into fat and increases the level of uric acid. This acid is one of the primary contributors to gout-related pain. A study published in BMJ in the year 2020 revealed that older individuals who regularly consume foods high in fructose have a 34% greater risk of developing hyperuricemia and excess of uric acid, particularly in the joints of the feet and toes. This can result in burning pain in the big toe at night, swelling in the ankles, or tightness in the knees after walking. Some people may feel a pulling sensation, while others experience inflamed stiffness that interferes with normal movement. And yes, the cause might be nothing more than a couple of handfuls of grapes per day. There is another concern. Grapes are very easy to overeat. They are small, sweet, and enjoyable, and you might not even notice eating 2 or 3 cups. That amounts to several dozen grams of sugar. When consumed regularly, fructose not only increases inflammation, but also affects blood pressure, adding extra strain on both joints and the heart. So if you frequently eat grapes and have noticed stiffness, pain, or swelling in your legs, it might be time to reconsider your fruit choices. Grapes may not be such a helpful ally for older adults after all. Fruit number 4, watermelon, a deceptive hydration ally after the age of 60. At first glance, watermelon seems like the perfect summer fruit. It is refreshing, quenches thirst, is made up almost entirely of water, and contains very few calories. It is often recommended as a natural source of hydration, especially for older adults. But could this juicy fruit be less safe than it appears? Unfortunately, yes. Despite its light texture and high water content, watermelon has a very high glycemic index, around 72. This means that after eating it, blood sugar levels can rise sharply, almost as quickly as they would after eating candy. According to a study published in Nutrients in the year 2021, foods with a high glycemic index trigger acute hyperglycemic responses in older adults whose insulin sensitivity is already reduced with age. What happens next? The increase in blood sugar activates an insulin surge. But in an aging body, the regulation of this hormone becomes unstable. These insulin fluctuations lead to inflammation, especially in vulnerable areas with limited blood circulation, such as the shins, knees, and ankles. Many people over the age of 60 report increasing stiffness in the legs, dull pain while walking, or swelling after meals. This is often attributed to aging, but the true cause might be right there on the plate, and it could be watermelon. Gerontology and Geriatric Medicine published findings in the year 2022 showing that foods with a high glycemic index, when consumed regularly, are associated with increased inflammation in the lower limbs and a faster decline in muscle strength among older adults. This shows up as fatigue after a short walk, tension in the knees when climbing stairs, or a heavy sensation in the ankles even after resting. The problem is made worse by how easy it is to overeat watermelon. Its texture is weightless, and it feels almost like water, but just a few slices can deliver a sugar load comparable to soda or pastry. Now imagine this. You are trying to stay hydrated, but instead you are triggering hidden inflammation. There is one more important point. The sensation of hydration from watermelon can be misleading. Watermelon does not contain electrolytes in the right concentrations, and its high sugar content can actually increase thirst and disturb osmotic balance. That means after eating watermelon, you might feel thirsty again, even though you just had a watery fruit, a paradox that can be especially dangerous for people with high blood pressure or heart failure. So, should you give up watermelon entirely? Not necessarily. But if you frequently experience stiffness, swelling, or heaviness in your legs, especially during the summer, consider whether watermelon might be a hidden cause. It may not be helping with hydration after all, but instead slowly disrupting your vascular and muscular balance. Fruit number 5, oranges, an acidic trap for the joints of older adults. Oranges are widely seen as a universal symbol of health. They are praised for their vitamin C, antioxidants, and support for the immune system. However, what strengthens the body at the age of 30 can begin to irritate and damage it after the age of 60, especially the joints and soft tissues in the legs. The culprit lies in their composition, citric acid combined with fructose. On their own, these components are generally harmless, but in the aging body, their combination can trigger a cascade of inflammatory reactions. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Rheumatology in the year 2021 showed that people over the age of 60 who frequently consume citrus fruits are more likely to experience intensified arthritis symptoms, morning stiffness, and swelling. Citric acid does not just irritate the joints through the stomach, it enters the bloodstream and can inflame joint linings and tendons, especially in individuals who already have arthritis or osteoarthritis. If you regularly feel knee pain or tension in the hips after a night of sleep or after sitting for long periods, it might not simply be aging. It could be the result of your daily glass of orange juice. In addition, the fructose in oranges raises blood sugar levels, particularly when consumed as juice without fiber. According to Diabetes and Aging Review in the year 2022, rapid spikes in glucose levels among older adults can trigger systemic inflammation, especially in peripheral tissues, such as the joints and muscles of the legs. The difficulty lies in how oranges are marketed as part of a healthy diet. People drink orange juice believing it to be a good habit, and then suffer from leg pain for months, blaming it on age. Should oranges be eliminated completely? Not necessarily. But if you notice that citrus fruits lead to increased swelling, a burning sensation in the knees, or greater difficulty walking in the morning, it might be time to rethink your citrus routine. Sometimes good health begins not with what we add to our diet, but with what we remove just in time. Fruit number 6, green apples, a hidden source of leg tension and nighttime cramps. Green apples are often seen as a symbol of freshness and clean eating. They are crisp, mildly tart, and have a reputation as a low-calorie snack, making them especially popular among older adults who are trying to eat healthily. They seem like a safe choice, low in sugar, high in fiber, and pleasant in taste. But behind that simple appearance lies a chemical makeup that can lead to leg fatigue, nighttime cramps, and even joint inflammation. The main issues are found in malic acid and natural sugars, even if the fruit does not taste overly sweet. Malic acid, which gives apples their distinctive tartness, can irritate more than just the stomach lining. It may also affect joint health in older adults, especially in those with chronic inflammation. A study published in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience in the year 2022 found that malic acid can intensify peripheral inflammation in people over the age of 60, causing discomfort in the knees, hips, and feet. Some individuals report slight joint tension after eating apples. Others feel a dull ache in the hip or a sensation of warmth in the feet during the evening. These symptoms may seem minor at first, but they can build up over time, particularly if apples are eaten raw on a daily basis, which is how most people consume them. Now let's talk about the natural sugars. Green apples contain both fructose and glucose, although in smaller amounts than red varieties. Still, for older adults with slower metabolisms, even these sugars can trigger fluctuations in blood glucose levels, especially if eaten before bedtime. According to a study published in the Journal of Diabetes and Metabolic Disorders in the year 2021, such glucose spikes in seniors increase the risk of nighttime muscle cramps, weakness, and morning stiffness in the calves and ankles. Green apples are often viewed as the perfect evening snack, but for this very reason, many people are unknowingly placing extra strain on their joints and leg muscles every day, blaming the growing discomfort on aging. In reality, this seemingly healthy fruit could be the cause. The takeaway? If you frequently experience knee tension, heaviness in the legs, or tingling in your feet at night, it may be worth reducing your intake of green apples, especially raw and on an empty stomach. Fruit number 7. Mango, a sugary attack on the joints and nerves of older adults. Mango is one of the most tempting fruits, soft, juicy, aromatic, and almost as sweet as caramel. It is associated with tropical wellness, vitamins, and exotic indulgence. But if you are over the age of 60, mango may not be a dessert, but rather a contributor to inflammation, impaired circulation, and leg pain. The main issue lies in its extremely high concentration of fructose. One medium-sized mango contains around 45 grams of sugar, which is comparable to a can of sweetened soda. According to data published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition in the year 2022 in older adults, a high dose of fructose causes an insulin spike followed by a rapid drop in blood sugar, which leads to inflammation in the soft tissues of the joints and worsens microcirculation. If you already have joint problems or issues with peripheral nerves, the effects can show up quickly. Evening swelling in the ankles, tingling in the toes, burning sensations in the feet, or a dull heaviness in the thigh. This is not a coincidence. The Journal of Gerontology Medical Sciences in the year 2021 directly linked excessive fructose consumption to accelerated joint tissue wear and a higher risk of neuropathy in seniors. What makes mango particularly tricky is how easily it is overeaten. It does not feel heavy like cake or candy, so it is easy to consume an entire fruit in one sitting. But the body does not distinguish between light and heavy foods. Sugar levels spike just the same, and what follows is an inflammatory response, knee pain, reduced flexibility, and a slower gait. Many older adults consider mango a natural alternative to sweets, but natural does not always mean safe. For a body with slowed blood flow and inflamed joints, mango can act as a daily trigger for worsening symptoms. What can you do? If you notice that eating mango leads to increased leg pain, a sensation of swelling, or difficulty standing for long periods, it may be time to replace this tropical dessert with something less aggressive for your blood vessels and joints. Now you can see the full picture. 7 fruits that can harm your legs and what you can eat instead. At first glance, fruits appear to be unquestionably healthy, but now you know that even the most wholesome ones can have hidden side effects for the body after the age of 60, especially if you are dealing with leg pain, joint discomfort, swelling, or poor circulation. The good news is that some fruits have the opposite effect. They are not only safe, but they also offer therapeutic benefits. These fruits help reduce inflammation, improve blood flow in the lower limbs, and support the restoration of mobility. Let us now turn our attention to the fruits that truly deserve a place in an older adult's diet, not just for taste, but for strength, balance, and comfort in movement. Step 1. Berries. Gentle support for blood vessels and joints. Blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, and currants are natural anti-inflammatory foods rich in anthocyanins and polyphenols. According to a review published in Advances in Nutrition in the year 2022, regular consumption of berries lowers levels of C-reactive protein, one of the key markers of inflammation, while also improving peripheral circulation and reducing the risk of thrombosis in older adults. Berries have a low glycemic index, so they do not cause spikes in blood sugar. This helps prevent muscle cramps, morning stiffness, and heaviness in the calves. They are also easy to add to your daily diet, in oatmeal, smoothies, or simply as a snack. 2. Cherries, a natural remedy for gout and knee pain. A study published in Arthritis and Rheumatology in the year 2020 confirmed that eating cherries daily helps lower the level of uric acid in the blood, which in turn reduces the risk of gout flare-ups and inflammatory joint pain. Even a small handful of cherries, around 10 to 12 berries, can noticeably decrease the frequency of knee pain, especially in the morning or after walking. It is important to consume cherries in moderation and in their fresh form rather than as concentrated juice or jam. Number 3. Avocado, healthy fats that nourish the joints. Avocado is not just a fruit, it is also one of the most powerful anti-inflammatory free foods. It is rich in omega-9 fats, beta-sitosterol, and vitamin E. According to a study published in the Journal of Nutrition and Aging in the year 2021, regular consumption of avocado helps reduce joint pain and supports collagen metabolism, particularly in the hip and knee areas. In addition, avocado helps stabilize blood sugar levels, which can prevent nighttime cramps, fatigue, and sudden energy crashes. 4. Papaya, enzymatic support for the digestive system in older adults. Papaya contains an enzyme called papain, which promotes gentle digestion and helps reduce inflammation in muscles and joints. A study published in the Journal of Inflammation Research in the year 2022 showed that among older adults with chronic knee pain, eating papaya improved mobility by 18% over a period of 4 weeks. This fruit is also rich in vitamin C and carotenoids, which help protect cartilage tissue from deterioration. 5. Pear. Steady energy without sharp glucose spikes. Pears have low acidity and a moderate amount of fructose, making them ideal for the aging body. According to a publication in Nutrition and Healthy Aging in the year 2021, the combination of gentle fiber and natural polyphenols found in pears helps reduce inflammation in blood vessels and supports stable blood sugar levels, which can prevent fatigue and weakness in the legs. Tip: pair a pear with a source of protein such as yogurt or nuts. This will help sustain your energy for a longer period of time. Conclusion: strength comes not from quantity, but from making the right choices. You have already taken the first step, recognizing that not all fruits are equally beneficial after the age of 60. But now you know which ones not only do no harm, but actually help the body heal. From this point forward, every choice you make can become an investment in stronger joints, a lighter step, and a more comfortable aging process. This is not a story about restrictions. It is a story about wisdom. Aging is not weakness, it is experience. And if you have made it this far, then you are already moving toward a stronger, healthier, and more mindful version of yourself. Choosing just one right fruit a day is already a victory. Next, I recommend checking out these videos, and don't forget to leave your likes and comments. I'm looking forward to them.